welcome to Miro Distributed. Thanks so much for joining our session, Power Your Work with Miro Integrations. I'm super excited to be driving this session today. My name's Christina, and I'm a product marketing manager here at Miro. I work on our developer platform and partner integrations, and I'm very excited to invite 4 of our Miro technology partners today to join us and talk to us about the value of connecting your tech stack and working more efficiently across different applications. So just to set the stage, as many of you know, the challenges of working across different software tools every day are very prevalent in our society. Whether you've needed to add data into a strategy presentation, manage different projects, or work across tasks in different management systems, or even just simply having to share your screen and working on different presentations tends to be time-consuming and tedious. And what makes it even more challenging is when these tools don't talk to each other. Fortunately, along with our Miro partners, we're on a mission to make working across tools much easier, more effective, and to help you save time and hours of manual work each week. So with that, I'm super excited to introduce 4 of our partners today. We have Melanie Zhao from Atlassian, Kathy Zhang from Microsoft, Ayuba Awudu from Coda, and Scott Hutchins from UserTesting. Thank you all so much for joining us today and sharing with us everything about our integrations and partnerships. And I know everyone here is also very excited to hear from you as well. So today is all about our partners. So I will let each of you take the stage and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do at each of your respective companies. So maybe let's start with Melanie. Feel free to come off mute and let us know a little bit about yourself and what your day-to-day looks like at Atlassian.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you for inviting me. My name is Melanie Zhao. I'm a group product manager for Confluence integration. So my team leads 1P, 2P, and 3P integrations. As you said, Christina, we at Confluence also believe that our customers today are working on many different tools. And we really believe that connecting all those tools together and making trusted information findable and useful and relevant across the whole ecosystem makes a huge difference in our customer success.
Awesome. Scott, I'll pass it over to you.
All right. Thank you, Christina. It's great to be chatting with everybody. My name is Scott Hutchins. I'm VP of Solutions Engineering at UserTesting. That means I work a lot with our partners as well as our larger customers to make sure that they're getting the maximum value. And a lot of it is very similar to what's already been said in that user testing is all about helping our customers generate great insights, but great insights are even better when other people interact with them and people can collaborate on them together. So that's really what we're excited about, the user testing integration with Miro.
Awesome. Ayuba, let's hear from you.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, Christina. Yeah, so my name is Ayuba Awudu. I'm a product manager at Coda, and I spend a lot of time just thinking about how we can empower past customers to share their content much better. So both first party, in that they can take Coda documents and basically amplify the value of existing content across other documents without duplicating them, or with things like third party as well. We're very excited to work with partners like Miro, where we're bringing the best of breed of tools, such as their visual collaboration canvas, into things that we call team hubs in Coda, and allowing teams to keep moving fast and kind of working in the context they're familiar with. So super excited to be here and continue the discussion.
Awesome. And Kathy, thanks so much for joining us from Microsoft. Would love to hear a bit about you and what your day-to-day looks like.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I'm a M365 Business Development Manager at Microsoft. We work closely with our strategic partners to launch integrations for mutual customers. And we're excited to keep people in the context of their work and enable people to collaborate across the platform.
Awesome. So today we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to let each of our guests and partners talk to us about the integrations that our teams have built together in order to solve real-life customer problems. So each of our guests has prepared a short live demo, and they'll be talking us through the integration and how they use it in their day-to-day work. And they will walk us through the experience in real time. So please bear with us as these are live demos. But with that, I'm going to pass it over to our first presenter, Scott from UserTesting, who's going to walk us through the UserTesting and Miro integration experience.
Great. All right. I'm sharing my screen now, so hopefully y'all can see it. So before I just jump into the tech of the integration, I wanted to set a little bit of stage. So let's say I'm a product manager and my goal is to evaluate a launch decision to include some AI, generative AI features in the website. And that's kind of interesting to us for two different reasons. One is that pulls together collaborations across teams that don't normally interact maybe. So maybe your machine learning and AI engineers don't often interact with your product marketers and designers. So Miro is a great place to kind of facilitate those conversations. And the other thing that we really want to pull in across those two things I called out is our voice of customer. How can we hear from our customers, prospects, and real people to pull them into that internal conversation? And that's where we use the user testing integration with Miro. So let's say we ran a usability test in user testing, and we are working with our design team to figure out, what do they like the most about this new feature? And we can see, there were a lot of people saying different things, positives, negatives. And then as well, we could refresh the page because I left it open too long. So we could do that live and then scroll down to watch how those different participants navigated an experience. And so we could see if we had 6 different people go through a prototype, we could see how they went through it. And maybe the majority of them achieved success, but still experienced some rage clicks, some friction, and identified places where there was even mixed sentiment, where people really liked the feature overall, but they said it took too many clicks to even get to the feature. So that's something interesting, but it'd be great if I could pull that into the team so that they could share it. So I could simply take a clip from user testing, decide to share that by copying the link, and I can paste that link directly into my Miro board, where now the user testing integration with Miro has turned that link automatically into an embeddable video so that my team can watch that video directly from Miro. And we don't have that awkward thing where maybe they tell me they watched the video, but they didn't actually click through. If it's all really easy and in one spot, they can do that. And then as well, another neat part of leveraging Miro is that we can wrap this up into a template. So this is the template that's publicly available that Miro and user testing worked on together to help people leverage videos to turn those into ideas for action, kind of codify the best way to do that, summarize those, and then map to impact. And then in our world, we normally will turn that into action in Jira. And the other thing that's really important to talk about with Jira is mapping that back to the Miro board and the user testing insights, so that maybe an engineer doesn't have to have an additional meeting on their calendar to talk about why was this decision made. They can asynchronously take that back directly to work asynchronously from the same information that everyone else is using. So that's how we use user testing and Miro together with the integration to make decisions better and faster with confidence.
Awesome. I love to see the example, and also love that you referenced the Miroverse template that was built by your team. So it's great to see the combination of our integration, but also the Miroverse template in real life usage. Cool. So let's move on to Melanie. I would love to hear about how you use our Confluence embedded pages integration, and also the reverse side of it, the Miro embed integration into Confluence.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to share an exercise that's pretty similar to what my team did recently for Q2 planning. We do a team brainstorm every quarter to kind of take a step back, recenter us on our goals and strategy, and then give us the space to identify new ideas that we want to explore more in the upcoming quarter. So we typically start with grounding ourselves in what we know today, what context we have. So it's things like our product vision, what our data tells us, what our customers are telling us, to really get us into the right mindset to begin ideating. So here's an example of an embedded Confluence page right within Miro. These are great because it's super quick to view the information and then kind of jot down notes without ever having to leave Miro. So I might be looking at this funnel data and remembering, oh yeah, activation is still our biggest drop off. This information always stays up to date. It's synced with the Confluence source pages, and we can even edit right within Miro if we decide hey, maybe we've already completed a couple of these goals in Q1 already. So we can go ahead and edit that right within Miro, which is awesome. It takes about 10 minutes for the team to read through this context, jot down the ideas that stand out to them, and then we move into problem ideation. So we take about 10 minutes to ideate and then vote as a group. And the top 3 areas by vote will move forward into breakout groups for solution ideation. Each breakout group will take about 15 minutes, discuss their ideas and choose the top 1 or 2 top ideas that they want to prioritize and share back with the rest of the group. So these top ideas, I'm going to go ahead and select them and turn them into Jira cards. You know, I have to give a little bit of a plug for Jira while I'm here because this feature is so cool. So when I do this, it actually converts these directly into Jira tasks that go immediately on our team board so that we can track the work better. It helps us bridge that gap between ideation and action. Then once we're all done, I'm going to copy and paste this link and take this whole Miro board into our kickoff page within Confluence. So I'll just copy and paste it right here. I'll choose embed so that I can see this full editable Miro board, just as if we are in Miro. And users will be able to reference this brainstorm right in the context of our kickoff page. You'll also see here, I have our Jira board here for action items and all those top ideas that we just prioritized and turned into Jira tasks appear already in the prioritized section. Having all this info linked across Confluence, across Jira, across Miro allows our users to find the right relevant info and feel really confident that it's a source of truth. We really believe these types of integrations are key to saving our customers time, making it easier to collaborate, and ultimately being more successful as a team.
Awesome. I use this integration almost daily, and it's super helpful. I do have a question for you, Melanie, from the chat. The Confluence integration currently only works on cloud. Are there any plans for data center integration?
Yeah, great question. Not at the moment, unfortunately. So we're first focusing on improving our current integrations. But if that comes, we'll definitely announce.
Awesome. And then one more question actually just came in for the embedded pages experience. Who has access to the Confluence document that's embedded inside of the Miro board? So everyone that has access to it in Confluence, or everyone that has access to the board itself?
Yeah, so it goes by Confluence permissions. So whoever has access to that Confluence page will have access to it in the Miro board. We are working on some really cool things internally at Confluence that we want to bring to the Miro integration soon. And so that's things like guest access, public links, to make accessing for everybody a lot easier, or request access flows. So syncing up everybody who has access to this Miro board, requesting those users access to the Confluence page. So that's coming soon.
Nice, super exciting. Thanks for sharing. Now let's move on to our Coda integration. So Ayuba, are you ready to share?
Yes.
Thanks.
All right. Great. So on our end here in Coda, I'll just step through something that might be common workflow to a lot of people, especially if you're on the product side. So here, first off, I'm just showing like a dashboard in mode, which might be familiar to a lot of people. We're starting to look at adoption metrics and just various like attention metrics. In this case, I could be a product manager, just like a commerce company. And you might decide, hey, there's something going on with our net promoters and detractors in there. We're seeing a lot of people churn. You might then take the next step, as we commonly do, to say, well, let's get a board going in Miro, our favorite visual collaboration tool, and just start to think about what are ways we could help with the detractors. And typically in this case, like if we pull in the entire cross-functional team, so it could be people from marketing, engineering, so on and so forth, really anyone who has an idea in the company. And we typically like to do like a simple voting exercise. So as we start to flesh out ideas, kind of just use dots as a simple way just to vote, kind of low friction, but an easy way for us just to start to see sentiment and kind of where's the team kind of leading. And so say we've done this exercise for, a few minutes or something like that, a couple of ideas here, maybe of like a people strategy, maybe even stuff about, hey, maybe we could do better on mobile cross-platform SSO. So let's just say I decided at this point to just take my little dot and maybe add a vote for like cross-platform in there. And so now we've done the brainstorm, kind of started from a problem, done the brainstorm, have some ideas. And then now typically the next step, which most of us end up doing, I'll jump into Coda here. Got a little team hub in here where we kind of have all our write-ups and a bunch of the content. And typically today, what will happen is like you kind of take those ideas, maybe you have a write-up in there about the idea. And in the context of Coda, at least you can kind of discuss that and have a discussion. But now you started to notice I've just bounced between 3 tabs just to solve a problem, to have all the context. At some point, someone might ask me, hey, what happened? And how did you guys decide here? Oh, well, let me send you this Miro board, so on and so forth, right? And so this is a pattern we continue to see, many people having many tabs and, not being able to find the context quickly. And so now with the integration we have with Miro, that changes where I can now say no. I actually just want to add what we're calling a new page embed. I can actually say I want to add Miro in here. And because of the integration we've done in Miro, we have this nice picker that comes in that allows you basically to pick the board. And if you kind of notice, we've done work in here where because this actually takes up the full canvas real estate, we can actually embed the board in there, but also have a smart default that allows people to edit. And we also pull in little page icons, it's a Miro board, and even the page title that maps to the board title. And so now the content's in here, I can continue voting. Next time somebody asks me, oh, where was the board you discussed it in? I can just send them a link to the team hub and the Miro board is there. But even better than that, we can even say, hey, in the context of the write-up, I could actually just say, hey, we had a prior brainstorm. And I just want the Miro board in here as well. And similarly, again, because of that integration work with Miro, we have the picker. You actually notice, again, there's a smart default here. Instead of editing, it's now view, given the real estate, and giving you want the content to be more in line. And now that the Miro board actually now lives within the context of that PRD you wrote up. And so now there's no more this question about like, hey, what's the latest board? Or how did you guys decide this thing? All of the content is together. And so you kind of get the best of that unstructured visual collaboration from Miro that they're world-class at, together now with all the structured approach that we have in Coda, where you have your pros, you can have flags that, yes, I've read this thing and I'm done, and I've had discussion topics we can check off, so on and so forth. And again, keep your team moving by always just sending that link without having to bounce between so many different places. All right.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I will say one of my favorite things about the embed integration in inline embed is the fact that you can embed a Miro board without all the unnecessary tools and other distractions. So you can really focus in on the content that you need to share with your team. Thanks so much. Kathy, let's move on to our Microsoft integration. And I'm really excited for you to walk us through the different experience across the tab integration, the Teams meeting integration, and calendar. So I'll pass it over to you and feel free to share your screen.
As a partnership manager, a big part of my day is spent working inside of Microsoft Teams, whether I am taking calls with partners or prepping for big meetings. I often use Miro to collect ideas and prepare working sessions. With Miro's integration for Microsoft Teams, I can connect my ideation space directly with my communication environment. So let me show you how it works. This week, I am preparing for a big partner planning session with my team. I've already designed the working session in Miro with templates and content across here. We're planning to have a team brainstorm and planning session for the next quarter. I've already installed the Miro app for my Microsoft Teams tenant and authorized it for my account. I want to make sure that everyone has access to the board before the meeting, so I will attach it to the calendar invite that I've created. This means that all of my teammates can review the content before the meeting, and I can select the board I want to add from the list and then give the right permissions to my teammates. So we're adding here, and the board is also loading. The board is now attached to the meeting, so once the meeting has started, I will be able to open the board directly from the meeting by clicking the Miro icon at the top here. I can easily share the board with other participants so that we can all work together in the same space. We can add ideas, collect outcomes on the board as we're having conversations, and having a space to collaborate makes a meeting fun and engaging for my team. After the meeting ends, I want to make sure that we can continue working together on any action items. We have a team for this project, so I will attach the Miro board to the team as a tab. This way, everyone can come back to the board anytime and continue collaborating. Now everyone can view and edit the Miro board directly from the Teams tab. And finally, with the Miro integration, I'm also informed about any new activity so I can stay up to date with what's happening on the board. And that's the Miro integration for Microsoft Teams. You can install it directly from App Source.
Awesome. Thanks so much for walking us through a day in your life of using the Miro for Microsoft Teams integration. And with that, the session is over, but I just want to spend one moment thanking all of you. So Melanie, Ayuba, Kathy, and Scott for spending time with us today and walking us through all the incredible product innovations and integrations that our teams have been working on. I know I definitely walked away with a lot of new knowledge about our integrations, and I'm also really excited about the future of all of our partnerships. For everyone else watching, I wish you all a great day and a great distributed. And thanks again for joining us, and looking forward to continuing to share more updates about our partnerships and integrations experiences. Thank you.